What happens when your mom tries to upstage your wedding? I've never had a great relationship with my mother. She was the type who demanded gifts on my birthday because, in her words, you wouldn't be here without me. For 18 years, I never opened a single present myself. Every milestone, school plays, sports games, even graduation, was always turned into a celebration of her. My life felt less like my own and more like a continuation of hers. Fast forward to now. I'm marrying Pia. She's amazing, supportive, beautiful, and Indian. So, of course, my mother pulled her usual crap. This time, she asked to wear white to our wedding. I nearly snapped. The panic that she was going to hijack another meaningful moment nearly broke me. But Pia, calm as ever. She just smiled and said, "Let her wear white. She's not going to outshine an Indian bride." And damn, was she right. The wedding was stunning. Bright colors, ornate embroidery, the music, the food, everything felt like a dream. My mom showed up late, dressed in a long white tulle ball gown that screamed, "Look at me." Security actually stopped her at the gate because they thought she had the wrong event. I didn't plan that, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't bring me a little joy watching her fume outside while the rest of the guests were warmly welcomed in. Eventually, she got in, but compared to the elegance and richness of Indian wedding attire, her dress looked cheap and completely out of place. Instead of stealing the show, she looked like someone who'd shown up to the wrong party. She didn't stop there. First, she tried coughing loudly during the ceremony. Pia's aunt casually handed her a cough drop without missing a beat. Then she tried to start a conversation, only to be cut off by Pia's 5-year-old niece, who piped up with, "Don't you know it's rude to talk during weddings? I'm 5 and I know that." Turns out my sister-in-law had coached her. Absolute legend. Her final attempt was more dramatic. She tried to stand up, but Pia's cousin intercepted, loudly whispered that maybe the food wasn't agreeing with her, and basically escorted her to the bathroom. She stayed quiet after that. At the reception, the contrast was even sharper. Everyone was dancing. Bollywood, Hollywood, fusion. And my mom, who couldn't keep up, tried to shift the spotlight back to herself with conversation. She turned to my mother-in-law and started complaining about how hard it had been to raise me. My mother-in-law, bless her, responded, "However difficult children are, they bring 10 times as much joy. Your son is wonderful. You must be so proud." Clearly not the attention she wanted. My mother then turned to Pia and asked if she was sure she wanted to be with me. This was after the ceremony, by the way. Pia blinked at her and said, "Why would I marry him if I wasn't?" Undeterred, my mom loudly added, "Are you sure? He used to wet the bed, you know." I haven't wet the bed since I was 8, but there she was, shouting it to anyone within earshot. I felt like my throat closed up. I couldn't even speak. But Pia, she didn't miss a beat. "You must be confused," she said, with just enough fake concern to make my mom actually look confused. Then Pia raised her voice slightly so it carried over the music. "Dear mother-in-law, I know we're family now, but it's far too early, or ever, for you to share details about your son's bedroom history." Then she grabbed my hand and pulled me to the dance floor, leaving my mother awkwardly frozen while people turned to stare. During our first dance, I told Pia my mom was right. She just smiled and said, "It happens when kids are under stress. It's not your fault." And somehow, that moment washed everything away. The shame, the anger, it was just gone. We danced, ate, laughed. I finally felt surrounded by people who loved me, not because they could use my moments for themselves, but because they truly cared. By the end of the night, my mom looked constipated with frustration, but she hadn't ruined anything. For the first time in my life, a moment that should have been about me actually was. And all I could think was, I am so lucky Pia married me.